Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have a great video here for you, and I can't wait to get into this. I've been consistently sick, unfortunately, for weeks now. It's gone up and down. In fact, I'm back to back on sickness now, so it is absolutely crazy. The Lord is telling me recently, I was praying as I have been for my family and everything, because they've been getting sick too and things, and then I feel like he very surely that he said we're being bombarded. So again, all I know to do is just to pray and to keep us with particular things that we're taking and things, keep our health as best as possible. But I'm confident that right now towards the end we're being bombarded with all kinds of frequency and things like that. So as far as I know, that's what I'm dealing with. So anyway, and then also with my sleep thing, just real quick. I literally, as I told people, I was taking a particular supplement right away and turning off my phone, and it really made a dramatic impact. I couldn't believe it. I literally slept 7 hours in a row for like 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden it just changed. It went from being great and perfect to going back to the same thing, and it was really bizarre. So anyway, I don't want to get into all that too much, but I just want to let people know. I'm sure people are wondering what's going on with me and everything, and the health and all that. And it's part of being bombarded by this frequency. And the Lord's made it very clear that, first of all, that last time I was sick, when I had my last video, well, not my last video was taken down. I was suspended for a week, if you didn't know. So you want to get on Telegram if you can. Link is in the description box below. If you're not on Telegram, to get notifications of my videos and other details that I share and everything throughout the weeks and such. And then if YouTube goes down, or they decide to go back on history and just start saying, hey, you can't say this, and they can completely shut me down anytime they want. Sign up for Telegram as soon as you can. So, or not. I've been telling people that for months and years and stuff like that, and I only have I have a certain amount. I mean, it's a decent Telegram group, but it could be a lot bigger. So anyway, I started getting when I started getting sick, the Lord said that this is created in a lab, and I was like, oh my goodness, of course. But then also just taking my immunity away, being bombarded by something. He was just saying you're being bombarded. I'm like, okay, well, I know what that means. So anyway, so again, I'll take all your prayers, as many as I can get for my family and everything. And without any further ado, I just wanted to let you know that, without the details. And let's just go. So I can't wait to get into all this stuff. There's some great stuff, amazing stuff I wanted to share with you here. So here we go. Again, I want to cover the rule of Kalel. Oh, by the way, I have a lozenge in my throat, in my mouth, and I may move it around, so it might sound weird, or my voice may sound different. Everything sounds different. I mean, everything's messed up. But so just keep that in mind. I also have in the room I'm in, which is my bedroom, I have a little space heater, because it's been super cold, and normally I don't have a vent open. It's actually covered up because I don't want to get too warm. I sleep better when it's cooler. Then I get to turn on the heat as I need to, but I needed to really crank this heat on while I'm doing a video, which is unusual. Normally I can do it without it. But because of my throat and not having a coughing fit, I have to have the heat up in here. So if you might hear that little sound, I don't know. But okay, moving on. So the covering again, the Freemasonry rule of Kalel. For people who don't know and haven't seen my videos or don't remember, the Kabbalistic rule of Kalel states that one digit can be added to or subtracted from the Gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems to modern ears to be a cheat. However, the Kabbalists explain the rule by pointing out that for them, one was not a number. The monad symbolizes the divinity and could come and go as he pleased, adding nothing and taking nothing away. So I do take ones away. I don't add ones. That seems way to be a cheat, even though they say you can. Because a one can be a slash or a one, a slash can be a one or a slash, and things like that, and the dates. Also, I've been mentioning lately too that 4 is hiding 2 plus 2, because we're talking about this year. We're running out of time for this year, but I'm so confident it's this year and this time in December. I'm so confident. But you'll see with the evidence I bring, and then we'll see what happens. Of course, it's always that way. I don't know the future. The Lord gives me crumbs down the path, and that's all I can do. But these numbers could have been for when I started seeing about the year of 2022 and 22 and 222. It could have started in February, and the numbers were there, and they were similar to the numbers now. And I'll show you that as well. But and then over the rest of the year, there's numbers that could be the same or very very close to the same for the month, day, and then year, of course. But I'm very confident with the 22s and the 222s, hiding in 4 and 6, that we're in 2022, and then this is about to happen. So again, we'll know here in a few more days. So, and then again, another reason for 222 or the year 2022 is 0 is hiding O. Okay, this down here, this 0 is hiding O. So anytime you see a 0, again, we say O a lot of times instead of 0. Like, if it's a class in high school, in college called English 101, it should be 101. Military says it like that, but most people are taught by predictive programming that you say 101 because it's really, they're factoring the O in Gematria and hiding that information without you knowing it. So 0 is O, and O is 15th letter of the alphabet, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So that's hiding a 6. And what's 6? Right here, it's hiding 2 plus 2 plus 2. So there's a lot of reasons why I feel we're still in this, we still have a little bit of time that 2022 is it. And I'm going to get into a lot of those right here. Okay, so moving on here. Again, predictive programming, you're being predictive programmed daily. If you watch any kind of media that serves anywhere from, I would say, like hundreds of thousands of people to millions, if you're watching somebody's normal page on YouTube or something, or normal channel on YouTube, or somebody's page on this or that, not necessarily, but when you get into hundreds of thousands or maybe even high tens to hundreds of thousands, then usually the enemy does not let, and the people behind this technology, they do not let these people that are not controlled stay on. They attack them like they've been attacking me so crazily, I can't even say, and they've been blocking me and shadow banning me like insane. Literally, I have tons of evidence of this. I used to get videos that were 50 to 100,000 views. I'm lucky to get 3,000 to 4,000 now. I'm lucky to get 3,000 to 4,000, sometimes 8, sometimes at the rare more than that, but it's weird. And I have over 27,000 subscribers. Tell me how I could get 5,000 views on 27,000 subscribers. Tell me that, okay? It doesn't make any darn sense. So anyway, predictive programming we're being bombarded by predictive programming because the world is under that thumb and everything. So my definition is a subtle form. This is something I've put together over time, understanding what it is. And I feel like I know what it is, and I'm an expert at this point. It's a subtle form of psychological conditioning woven into fabric of all mass media, designed to subconsciously program and or consciously acquaint the public with pre-planned societal changes, ideas, or events. These changes, ideas, or events eventually become reality, largely because the public over time has already become programmed and or familiarized with them, accepting them as natural progressions, thus eliminating virtually all possible public resistance, commotion, or investigation. Okay, that's absolutely true. And it's basically, it's in anything you see here that's in the media. Okay, and I'm going to prove that more in this videos as well, just as I do on all my other videos. So, and then here's my Telegram. If you want to set up a Telegram, it's through your phone. You get notifications on my videos, or again, I do Gematria on different things, and I put that out there. At least I have been. When I've been sick more, it's not been as much, and different things going on. But it is happening. It's still going to happen. And that's what you want to stay in touch if you want to get information. Because if my channel's taken down, that's probably it for me, except for this. So I'm not going to other platforms. They're a waste of time. They're for a lot of reasons. A lot of them don't have the technology they need. They don't have the following. They're just, a lot of them just aren't worth the time. I'm trying to break through to get it to a lot of people, and my viewership on those is really low. And I've tried it for months and months and months and years actually, and they just do not come through. So anyway, I think we're really close. So we'll see. So, and I wanted to say always my motto is. It comes from Ephesians 5:11, having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. The Exalted Lamb 1. I'm exposing the worthless deeds of darkness. Hold on, get out. I stuck on a lozenge a little bit. Okay. So I'm exposing the worthless deeds of darkness. I'm not being a part of it. For all you religious nutballs out there, I like to falsely accuse, and there's no shortage of them. There's no shortage of them. All they have to do, or all they want to do, is to falsely accuse. When there's no evidence of that, they just, they're afraid of me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't produce fear in people, but I guess I do. They're like, just stop what you're saying. I can't handle it. Just stop. I'm like, okay, you need to grow up and move on, because this is my house, and I'll say what I need to say as long as I can say it. You need to move on. And I'm not prophesying anything. I never have. I'm always speculating on what could happen, what may happen, and all that stuff. So just get over it. And it's about warning people. If you know anything about being a watchman and Ezekiel 33 and all that, it's about warning people. If I don't warn people, then I am going to their blood will be on my hands. And it's even bigger than that. It's about following Jesus, knowing him showing me what to do, telling me you need to do this and you need to do these things, and it's a daily walk with him, even more than Ezekiel and all that stuff. A lot of people use that main thing, but my main thing is Jesus. But I'm just using it as another example of that with Ezekiel and being the watchman. But even bigger than that is my lordship, the lordship of Jesus Christ in my life, and me submitting to him for so many years, knowing him 20 plus years, knowing, being born again for 30 plus years, but really knowing him and submitting to him for 20 plus years, and having no other interested in anything else. I'm not interested in my own will. I'm not interested in anything else. All I do is follow him because he's worthy of that. He has changed my life. He's saved my life so many times. He's healed me from addiction. He's healed me from so many things. He's so incredibly amazing. He's such a good guy. He's my best friend. He's the man. He's the man with the plan, because the first man ran, and that's Adam. Anyway, he's awesome, and I'll move heaven and earth for him. I'll walk hot coals. I'll go through hell for him, and I have in a lot of ways. God knows. Okay, anyway, so moving on. Okay, so this is the time frame now, starting with 12:18 through 12:19. Why? I'm going to get into this whole sign. It's really incredible. So let's move on. So this lunar eclipse happened, which was huge. I knew it was huge when it happened. I knew the tetrad blood moons that happened, 7 years ago were huge when they were happening, because that's when I was being woken up. Me and my wife were being woken up to that these things are coming, but I didn't expect it to be 7 years long, 7 years later or whatever. But I knew this was massively huge on November 8th, because it was basically, it went right over. Hawaii's right there, basically, right there. Went right over Hawaii. It basically notified all North America right here. That's Babylon right here, Babylon, because we like to babble on. That's Babylon. If you don't know that, I mean, Babylon, all the description of Babylon in the Bible, and I actually have some of it in the description box below. And the very bottom, I have things about the rapture, things about the innocent children that will be taken, about the 144,000 and things like that. But Babylon is, I've done a lot of research on Babylon. It's surrounded by waters. There's no other place in the world, not Rome, not, anything else that it has that. It's a land of images. There's a lot of the descriptions about the Babylon. It's only America. That's it. And the Lord also told me before I even knew that, and before he really poured through scriptures and everything, he said to me one day about 8-9 years ago, he said, "Oh, by the way, Stinky BO, the 44th press, Antichrist Obama is the Antichrist." And I was like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and America's Babylon." Kind of said it like that. It was really crazy. That's how he talks to me sometimes. Kind of like, "Hey, what, here? Oh yeah, here you go." Anyway, I had a second lozenge here. All right, so it started happening on the 7th and basically become the total lunar eclipse on the 8th. So it's 7th and 8th. Okay, and I knew this was huge going over Hawaii, because that's where the beast from the sea came from. Technically, where he actually was born, who knows? He's a clone. Stinky B.O. B.O.'s a butthead, 44th Prez. Okay. Then I got a clue on some different things I've been looking at recently that were huge. The Lord was leading me to, because blood moon equals 39, and Hawaii is exactly the same exact Gematria 39, and I knew that this was designed for this. That even the name blood moon and the name and all this stuff was designed for this time. Okay, and again, when I speculate about these stuff, they do have all these things that relate, but sometimes they're not the exact time. Sometimes they're about something else. But it helps you as you understand all the all the different intricacies of these things, which I do more and more. Then it points you more and more to more specifics and more exactitude. So it's really important. So that's how I've come up with all these different events in my timeline that are going to happen, because over time they just started to show up, and then they were confirmed and confirmed and confirmed over time, because all these similar events in the same days of the week, or same days, the number of days and everything were happening hundreds of times, basically. And so that's confirmed them. So if you don't know, I showed you the timeline. If you want to know the events, they're always listed, pinned to the top of comments on these videos. So on this video, my latest timeline with all the different events will be pinned to the top of comments, and that's where I'm going to keep putting it, and that's where it's going to stay. Okay, so you can see all these different events. Like on the first day that Joe Biden time, or creepy Uncle Joe is going to be taken out, and then Harris is going to take. Kamala Harris is going to take over. Things like that. There's going to be a number of things that happen on the first day. Just give you an example there. Like Taiwan's going to be invaded, things like that, and that shows a lot of numerology for the first day, and it has for a long time. Okay, so here we go. So again, that refers back. So from this event right here, it goes back to this event, and this is the Tetrad blood moon. And from the center point of this blood moon, and I've shared this many times, to this blood moon, and from the center point to this blood moon, they're both 266 days, which is the gestation for twins. 280 days for a single baby, for twins 266 days, and that's what that is, because it's a twin birth. It's the birth of the Antichrist to the world, and the birth of the man-child into heaven, based on the Revelation 12 sign. And I can bring the Revelation 12 sign and stuff too as well, but I'm not going to do that this time, because I've talked about that many times. But how this sinks in as well is really crazy. So, but let's move on. So this last day here, September 28th, 2015, is going to go from there to this. The first day of this eclipse on 7th and 8th is 7 years and 40 days, and that hit me. The Lord was telling me about this warning, and I knew this was something big. And then recently, this hit me a big time. He just said 40-day warning. He said 40-day warning. When I saw this, I was like, whoa. And so I went from November 8th, because again, it was 7th and 8th, and when it actually was an actual eclipse was on the 8th, when it became a full eclipse, the 8th, and 40 days later is December 18th, and I knew that was my pre-day, because the pre-day is a 9, 1 plus 8 is 9, and then the first day is a 10, which is 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. And why is 10? Because 10 is, take away the 0, that's 1 for the first day. They just love this numerology, but they hide in different ways. They hide the exact month, how they do it, the days, they're hidden in different ways. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So about the idea of 40 in the Bible. The number 40 shows up often in the Bible because 40 appears so often in context dealing with judgment or testing. Many scholars understand it to be the number of probation or trial. And I've studied the word. I've been a biblical researcher for over 30 years. I know Hebrew and Greek. I know all the idioms in the Bible, figures of speech. A lot of people don't know any of that stuff. It's just crazy. To understand it more, there's a lot of things. I use a lexicon, a concordance, an interlinear. All these different things to study the Bible. And unfortunately, most people don't know anything about that, and don't really know the Bible, unfortunately. And then I happen to know Jesus as well, which is even bigger, and because he teaches me the Bible, the way it should be understood, and everything, not by because again, not again, but I've shared this before in the past, but there's perceptions of what this thing is and what these truths are from pastors, from churches, from all kinds of perspectives. But get it from Jesus' perspective, and you'll be right on, 100%, or as best you can be. He's dealing with imperfect people, of course, and I'm imperfect, of course. So, but I'm getting it from the horse's mouth, the one who knows that he is the truth. You go through that perspective of the truth, the way, the truth in the life. You get it through those glasses, in a sense. You see it through those glasses, and it comes through correctly, because he is the way, he is the gate, he's the way to God, he's the way to this truth. Okay, and you got to understand that. Okay, so in the Old Testament, when God destroyed the earth with water, he caused it to rain 40 days and 40 nights. After Moses killed the Egyptian, he fled to Midian, where he spent 40 years in the desert, tending flocks. Biblical references here. Moses was on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses interceded on Israel's behalf for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, huge references to testing and trial and destruction that's coming and things like that. The law specified a maximum number of lashes a man could receive for a crime, setting the limit for 40. Again, that's destruction, that is judgment. Okay. The Israelite spies took 40 days to spy out Canaan. The Israelites wandered for 40 years probation. Okay, 40 years. Before Samson's deliverance, Israel served the Philistines for 40 years. Judgment. Goliath taunted Saul's army for 40 days before David arrived to slay him. Again, that's probation probably. Okay, so there's all this stuff. Then when Elijah fled from Jezebel, he traveled 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Horeb. He was in that particular cave. By the way, that cave is in an actual mountain, and that's been found. It's called Jabal Musa. Oh, wait. It's called the Mountain of Moses, and that's the real Mount Sinai. It's been found. It's incredible. I've seen all the details of it. That's amazing. The number 40 also appears in the prophecies of Ezekiel and Jonah. Now we're going to deal with Jonah here, 3:4. In the New Testament, Jesus was tempted 40 days and 40 nights, and there were 40 days between Jesus' resurrection and his ascension. Again, this is all important. 40. What is this teach? Why is this teaching us about all this? Because it's about what's going to happen in the future. It's what's happening, and this is what I believe the Lord showed me. This is what this is about. This is the 40 days that has been prophesied about for so long, and all these different examples. The judgment, the final judgment on Babylon, USA, is coming on after 40 days. And when does that begin? On that blood moon. Okay, and we'll see, but that's what I've been getting. And then check this out. So here I was looking at some of this stuff. The Lord showing me this stuff, and then immediately I had a nap. As my manner is, taking a nap in the middle of the day, unfortunately, because the way I'm sleeping is just ridiculous. Okay, God, the Lord knows. Okay, and then I had a crazy dream. Just awesome. So anyway, this was the dream. I was in. Let me go here for a second here. I'll just pause on here so you can see Jonah getting out of the big fish. Okay, so I had this crazy dream. So. And this ties in, I know the timing on this, it ties into the blood moon as well, but, okay, so, this crazy dream that I was on like the modern rail system or whatever, either a modern train or like a light rail or something like that. I don't know where I was, it doesn't matter, I don't think. There's a lot of people in this train, and it was coming to a stop or something like that, and then all these people I'm just sitting there kind of doing something, and I think I was looking at my phone or something, and then all of a sudden, all these people started freaking out. I mean, the sounds, I mean, it was just like, it scared me for a second. It startled me, okay? It startled me. And then I looked up to this window, and people were looking out to this window on the other side of the train. I mean, I was on one side, I went to the window, and there was this massive, huge red dot in the sky, big red. I could only assume it was a planet, but it was but it was like fuzzy around the edges and stuff. It was like blurred around the edges. It was just massive. Just imagine, like, if you look in the sky and you got 4 sections. There's a middle, and like the third section from the middle, and then look at, like, just cut that into thirds. The 2/3 of the top and 1/3 of the bottom was open, but the 2/3 of the top was all one big planet, red, and it was blurry. It was during the daylight. Like, you could see it, and so it looked blurry, but you could see kind of a reddish big thing, but it was ominous. It was crazy, and I looked up at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's here, and I knew what it was, and immediately, again, all these people are freaking out everywhere. They're looking at their phones, they're looking up, what's going on? They're like just screaming. Some people are just everything. It was... If I wasn't who I am and would know what I know, I would be screaming. I would be scared because of how the people were scared. But I wasn't. Immediately when I realized that this was Planet X, I was happy. I was like, I was so excited and happy. I was I was like I felt like I was going to get on my knees and just start crying for happiness. I was so happy. And then I went out down these stairs on the end of the car. I went down these stairs, a couple stairs to get to the outside. And I looked up and I was just like, because I wanted to look at it straight on. And there was all these people looking up and it was just, everything stopped. I mean, everything stopped. At least that's how it seemed. And it was like probably in the late afternoon or something like that. And I just looked up and I was just in awe, and I was just so, and I knew that the Lord had me, and I knew, and I was so happy, and I was crying, and I was just like, I was so happy. And then I woke up. And so one of the reasons I'm sharing this is because I believe that what this blood moon's also telling, not only is it a sign that destruction's coming, but it's also saying that this big red planet, like the blood moon, like it's like the planet is that distance away or something, and then it's going to eventually be so close, like it's a representation of that, and it's coming, like it's like she says, it's coming in the distance, it's coming, and then at some point it's going to be right in your face. And then he showed me how big it was. I mean, it was, if you normally see the moon, it's probably like 50 of those stacked, and then the whole round circumference, it's like I told you, if it's like you split up your view into 4 sections, then from the middle, the third section right from the middle, that section, and then put it into thirds, and the top 2/3, if that makes sense, I don't know, it's all a circle and red and blurry on the edges and stuff. I mean, oh my gosh, I mean, it was so incredible. Anyway, so this is the sign of Jonah. Okay, this is Jonah, right? Again, Jonah 3:4 for example. It's also in 2 Kings or whatever account of Jonah. But in Greek, it's a sea serpent. They call it. It's one of the constellations, Cephas, or what is Cephas? What's that? There's a constellation with a sea. It's called a sea monster. Cletus? No. Anyway, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's Cetus. Cetus is a sea monster. It's one of the constellations in the sky. The Greek call it Cetus. It was Ketus, but then it's changed to Cetus. And then that's sea monsters, because it's huge. I mean, think about something swallowing a human, and that's inside them, swallowed in their belly or whatever, and it's still surviving. I mean, who knows how big? I mean, was he kind of sitting up? Was he laying down? Was he walking around? I mean, was it like Pinocchio? I mean, I think that's an example of that with Pinocchio and everything. But it wasn't a whale, I don't think, because it says sea monster, okay, which is not, whale's not a sea monster. And then in Greek, even more precise, it says fish. And that Greek word, which sounds like dog, literally, it sounds like dog in the Greek word. And I'm thinking about the Aramaic Hebrew as well. So it sounds like dog, but it's fish. And it has to do with the movement, the wiggliness of the movement of this thing. So it was a huge fish. I think best translated from what I know is it was a big, huge, gigantic fish. In that sense, you could look at it. If it's massively huge like that, it could be a sea monster. I mean, that's not normal. So you can probably classify it as a sea monster. So anyway, so this thing was swallowed. Well, the thing about that is used as the sign by Jesus is, what does he say? He said, just as Jonah was in the heart of the belly of the fish for 3 days, it says whale in some translations as well, but I think the reason why it's whale is because that's the numbers. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what it was, really. But 3 days and 3 nights, he said, just as Jonah was in the heart or the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so shall the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. And that's the sign of Jonah, that he would be dead in a sense and then come back to life in 3 days and 3 nights. And so he used that as an example of the sign. Okay, now even when he says 3 days and 3 nights, this is all the numbers. Now, keep in mind, this is God putting something together and then the enemy twisting it, tweaking it. And maybe some of it's God's intention as well. And it's hard to tell sometimes, okay? Sometimes if the enemy is tweaking this, the words enough, or because the enemy came up with the English language. So God could have made a certain way, and then the enemy made the exact words in the English language to fit the way he wanted it to. So if that makes sense. Because God did not create the English language. It's absolutely the case that the enemy did, because it has all these deceptive, programming programs you. When you spell, it's casting a spell. There's all sorts of different names for the same thing and different things. It's all deception. Okay, that's English language is deception. Okay, so That's how we have to have all this comedy and stuff, because we play off certain words, play off other things. Anyway, so 3 days, 3 nights in Sumerian in reverse right here is crazy. I'm gonna show you this real quick. So anything you add 9 to stays the same. So you can get rid of 5 plus 4 is 9. You can cross that out. Sometimes you can use it. Sometimes you can just get rid of it. And you have 1 and 2 is 12. And then we have right here 1 plus 8 is 18. And then we have 2 and 4. So 2 is 2. And then 4 is hiding. Remember, 2 and 2. I showed you in the beginning. So 12, 18, 22. Again, that's to do with the sign, because it's 12, 18 is 40 days exactly later than the November 8th eclipse, blood moon eclipse, okay? Lunar eclipse, the blood moon, okay? And then this just happens to be, I looked at this primes and reverse primes, I'm like, wow, this just happens to be 8/11. Not happens to be, this is all made this way. There's no coincidence in all this stuff. There's just not. Now when it keeps confirming it in many different ways. So that's 8th of November, okay, right here. And then remember, 40 days later, again, these are 2 days, 7th and 8th, and then we have 18th and 19th, which are the 2 days, the pre-day and the first day. And each attack day is 2 days, but I consider it 1 day for different reasons. So plus 40 days is get you to 12/19 or 12/18, and 12/18, 12/19, doesn't matter. But 12/19 would give you 12, and then 3 plus 7 is 10, or 12, 1 plus 9 is 10. So it's just weird. That's where, I hope that makes sense. Basically, this is how you hide certain things. Like this is 10, and 1 plus 9 is 10. They do this in different ways, but this is crazy how that's right here, showing the exact day and the 40 days later, the exact, because we're looking for 1 or 0. I'm sorry, we're looking for 1 and 0 because it's the first day. So ultimately, the first day ultimately is what we're looking for, 12/1. So 12/19 just there to hide you from it being the first day. So 12, 3 plus 7 is 10, with the 0, and it's the first day. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, moving on. So Jonah 3:4, and Jonah began to enter into the city in a day's journey, and he cried and said, yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. Right, he was warning. He first didn't want to. Then he was swallowed by the fish, and then finally went to warn them. And then they accepted the warning. He told them this thing would show up in the sky, and it did. And they freaked out, and then they accepted the warning. Well, is Babylon, USA going to do that? No. And they're just not going to do anything. They don't even know about it because they're so ignorant, and there's nobody to really. I mean, I'm warning you right now, but anyone will hear my cry. Most people will only hear that no. Okay, because they're so corrupt, and that's the way it is. Or God will bring them to this message, and then they'll see it. Okay, and then again, this is the whole thing, the whole scripture, but it just shows it this much in this little bar here. But Jonah began to enter the city in a day's journey. Let me go back here. So day's journey, and he cried and said, okay, so that's all right here, but it only fits, this much only fits in here. But look at right here. We got 11 plus 1 is 12. 1 and 8 is 18. And then 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. And out of 6, you get hiding 2, 2, 2. And then this is even more obvious, but see, people go, oh, yeah, 6, and you get 2, 2, 2, yeah, whatever. That's how they do it, I'm telling you. And then this is a little bit more obvious right here. Let's start from over here. We got 2 plus 8 plus 2. Sorry, 2 plus 8 plus 2 is 12. 9 plus 9 is 18. And then we have 18 plus 3 is 21. And then we have these zeros. Remember, again, these zeros are O's, and O's are 15, and 15 is 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. So we get 6 and 6 is 12. We have 21 and 12, and what is that? 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2. So we have 12, 18, 2, 2, 2, 12, 18, 2, 2, 2 in this scripture. I mean, it's crazy. And then Nineveh, it just happens to be, again, they made up these words. Whoever created the English language back in the day, they made up all these words to fit all their, religion, all this Satanism and all this stuff that they do. That's it. They sync these as well to scriptures, and they to the the Hebrew scriptures and all that, and it was all, they made it what they wanted to. I mean, this wasn't what it was called. It was called something else. Okay, if you look in the original Hebrew, it's got a name for it. You can look in the original Greek, it's got a different name for it. Okay, they made up their name. It's not Nineveh. It's called Nineveh because they wanted, whoever made English wanted it that way. And whoever, what is that? The golden rule. Whoever has the gold makes the rules. That's what it is, man. So Nineveh is 1 and 2. In this case, we'll get rid of the zeros. I didn't slash that out, but so you can either include the zeros sometimes or get rid of the zeros. Okay, because 0 could be 0, or it could be sometimes 6 or 15. Okay, so But 1 plus 2 is 12, and then we have 17. 1 and 7 is 17, and plus 1 is 18, and then 6 is hiding 222. I'm just telling you, it's there. Believe it or not. And then for the idea of 40 days or 40-day warning, 40 days is 53. But right here you have 4 slash the 0. 4 is hiding 2 and 2. 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 12. And then 19 is 12, 19, 22. Again, these are 2 days, but it's really 1 day. The 18th and 19th. The 18th is the pre-day. 19th is the first day. As I've said many times. Okay. I mean, there's artwork that goes back years and years ago about this. You know, this was that civilization there. There's artwork, and there's even actually artifacts. This is from that particular area. This is from Nineveh or whatever that place in Assyria it was called technically. There's different names. I'm not going to bring all that up right now, but this is an artifact from that actual event. So you have the sun, and it's covered up. Okay, and then you see a little bit of crescent, and then it's a blood moon right there. Okay, and there's the king, and there's all these different people that are telling him what it means, all that kind of stuff. And so that's all here. That's all. And that was actually found. So this was actually found. This actual event was found and found that it happened in the past. I don't know how they do their star charts and all that kind of stuff. And now we have, of course, programs that can go back and see and confirm things with programs and see. And anyway, so the Assyrian eclipse, also known as the Burj Sagal eclipse, is a solar eclipse recorded in Assyrian list that most likely dates to the 10th year of the reign of King whoever that is. The eclipse is identified. Okay, then we have a date here. Okay, now watch. So this is what this is called. Again, they made this up from whatever language that is, or whatever they got that from, to make it English. Okay, it's all about the translation. It really is. 9 plus 3 is 12. Then we got 16 plus 2 is 18, and 6 is hiding 222. Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, and then this guy supposedly found, again, supposedly, because we don't know, we weren't there, we don't know. This guy completely made up, or he could have been born to do this, and hit all his names and everything were all planned and everything to do this. We don't know. But check this out. This guy's name is Sir Henry Creswick Rawlinson, and look at this. Look at this year. I mean, if this doesn't prove what the Lord's been showing me about this, one of these is the month and day, and the other one's the year. And I'm showing this like ad nauseum. How many? The 2 and the 4, or the 2 and the 2 and the 2, or the 2 1 1 2, or whatever, or the 6 hiding 2 2 2, or whatever for this year. Look at this, 2022 spelled out. I mean, I've seen it many times backwards, but it's rare that I see this full 2022. So we're looking at 12. Oh wait, oh yeah, I didn't do this, but I'm just going to show you. Let me do this real quick first. So we have 12, and then 9 is hiding 1 and 8. Okay, that's one way of doing it. And then 2022. Okay, that's just how it works. Because I'm using all these different things to help prove each other. If it were just by itself, then I go, okay, I just have the year and who knows, whatever. But I'm telling you, that's how this works. So it's 12, and then 9 is hiding 1 plus 8. Or 1 and 8, I should say, which is 18, and whatever. Okay, and to even more prove that, again, you use all these different things to prove each other. So with this example, he discovered this eclipse with writings and stuff and all this stuff in the past. And he was an English. He was part of the House of Lords, but before that, he was a what do you call it? I forget what they call it. It had to do with it was astronomy, but it was something with the Earth and astronomy. So I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I should have put that down. But anyway, so he discovered it then, and then he published it. It made a point. Did some really good research on this. That's hard to find. He discovered this, and then he technically published it in 1867. And so check this out. 1866 is really 18th of 12. Okay, 18th of 6 plus 6 is 12. 18th of December, and then 1 plus 8 plus 6 plus 7. 1 plus 8 plus 6 plus 7 is 22. This happens to be 18th of December, 22. See how this works with 2022 and 22? Now it's the same year. You can do this kind of stuff. I'm telling you, this is crazy, okay? And this was the area of Assyria, right in here where it was. And then, this is tracked with, modern technology, or modern, what do you call it? Applications and stuff, programs and stuff now. So, and this is where it was here. And then this is exactly in the minus BC, or in BC, but minus. This is exactly the time BC, June 15th of 762. Now it was 763, but I guess there's a zero and then there's a year, 0 year or something. I don't know how that works, but this is how they have it right here. So, and then there it is right over that area. And this is the path of the eclipse, kind of on a larger view here. Okay, so you can see that. Now watch this. Now we literally have, this is what they show as the numbers here for the date, 762 whatever, and then June 15th. Now look at this. So first thing I see right away is 6. 1 plus 5 is 6, and then we have 7 and 2 cancel each other out because that's 9, and we have 6. So you have 6, 6, 6. So you have 6, 6, 6. Again, all you need to do is just move the 6 over, because you can move these things any way you want, any direction you want. Just move it 1 peg over, and that's 7 and 2 is 9. Cancel anything you add 9 to stays the same. Get rid of the 7, 2 equals 9. Get rid of that. Then we have 6, 6, 6. Okay, that's a coincidence? I don't think so. And then now follow this. Now what happens? Again, this is about the birth of the Antichrist, because this is referring to this sign, going to refer to something in the future about the birth of the Antichrist. Okay, and so watch. Let's go here now. Now we got 6 plus 1 plus 5 is 12. And then again, we now, in this situation, we'll move the 6 over here. Then we have 7 and 2 is right here, and the 6 is right here, okay? Just a couple, and then just one movement right there. And adding these up, okay? We're compressing or decompressing numbers and switching, sometimes, usually just 1 or 2 little movements. Mostly just one, usually just one, okay? Or getting rid of a 1, get rid of a 0, get rid of a 9. I never add the 1 or whatever. Okay, so, but here we go, boom. Now we have 12. And this is crazy. So you can literally take a 1 from 2 and add it to this one. Or you can, I mean, that's how, but 7 and 2 is 9, or 1 and 8 is 9. Remember I showed you 8 is hiding 1, 9 is hiding 1 and 8? In this situation, you take a 1 from 2 and add it to 7, you got 8. So they're both 9, but this is in a sense hiding 18 backwards, whatever. But that's what that is. And then 6 is 222. So basically, this exact day of this eclipse is not only 666, or the birth of 666 on 12/18/22. Believe it or not. Okay, so we know, again, the sign of Jonah, the name, the sign of Jonah in the Bible even, or people have said it or whatever, the sign of Jonah is in Gematria 12. 3 plus 6 is 9, and then 9 and 9 is 18, and the 6 is hiding 222. It just keeps happening. Now, again, if this was 1 digit off, if this was a 7, it would not work. I mean, you could take a 1 away, yeah. If this was a 5, it would not work. You'd have to add a 1, and I don't do that. I mean, I just don't do that. If any of these were off by 1 digit, it would not work. It would not work. Now, they could work in different ways for different dates and all that stuff, but as far as this exact date and all that. And then now we're talking about the sign of the Jonas Brothers. And this is something that the Lord has put on my heart, okay? It's not really anywhere, but it is secretly hiding, because look at that. I mean, that is one of their pieces of artwork I dredged up from somewhere. And look at that. That's on a blood moon, and then destruction around it, whatever. And then this is, by the way, this is the Unholy Trinity. I'm telling you, this is the false prophet. This is the first beast, the second beast during the tribulation. First beast, second beast, and the false prophet. CKBO, Prince William, who will be King William, and then the Pope, Francis. Okay, I'm just telling you, this Unholy Trinity. That's why there's 3 of them. Okay, the sign of Jonas Brothers, the sign of the Jonas Brothers is what I'm calling it, and that just happens to be 12/18 and 12/18. And in this case, I'm using English in reverse. And then again, this is. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all this, but it's right here. The explanation is right here, because I want to keep moving on. But and then we have 12, because the zeros are 6, and then we have 18, 12/18, 12/18. Boom, let's keep going. Now, this is all over in the things that they've done since they were young, super young. In like 2003, I think they come out or something like that. Super young kids. I'm going to show you an example of that. But here they are a little bit older, quite a bit older, years later. But look, I mean, we got eclipses going on everywhere. Just think of blood moon or think of eclipse. Look at this. I mean, they do this all the time. And they either one of them, at least one of them will wear red, like solid red. And then it's unusual for the other one to wear some kind of red. But they got it covered behind them. So usually one will wear red, and so that's like a blood moon. They do all these kind of things. It's just crazy. And if you don't believe me, here, let's just keep watching. And this is crazy how it just keeps. Again, these are subtle little references to how these are the sign of Jonah, Okay, blood moons. Okay, let's keep going here. So blood, like blood moon. Okay, that was something about their memoirs. Okay, Jonas Brothers, it gets a red wall, and their disc is red like a blood moon. I mean, this is even how they show it. Blood moon. I mean, crazy. Okay, this is Joe Jonas, the middle guy, the middle-aged dude, with Naughty Boy, and it just happens to be a blood moon on the cover. I mean, please. Then right here with them, you can see like the circular shape right here, and you can see kind of, it looks like there's something red right back here. In fact, it's kind of covering over his head, and you see it looks like horns a little bit. This is on purpose, but it looks like it's just being messy or whatever a little bit or something, or being kind of cool. But there is a circular object here, and there's redness right there. It's not as obvious, okay? Things are very, I mean, look, we got a blood moon right here. On the wall, we got a blood moon right here, and it's shining on his face. I mean, it gets ridiculous. Some of these are ridiculous. Look at this, the Jonas Brothers. Look, they're on a blood moon right here. I mean, why is there this here? Jonas coloring book, Brothers coloring book. Why is there a big red blood moon right behind them? I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, they are, these are a little bit more obvious, but I mean, there's a lot more subtle stuff that they do. Okay, so the Jonas Brothers, if you say it the way, because people say the Jonas Brothers, then you're looking at 12, 1, 2, again, 18 here, and then 6 is 2, 2, 2, or 4 is 2, 2, and 1 and 1 is 2. So however you want to do it, doesn't matter. This is what these ultimately add up to down here, okay? But look at here, here they are together, and this guitar, the way it's positioned, looks like a blood moon, and red behind them. It's just, they do this all the time. And then there's just a picture, and then, blood moon behind him. And you could say, oh, it's just coincidence, and oh, whatever. Well, then you just can't see, behind, you can't, you can't see the forest for the trees, or you can't, what's hidden. You can't see what's hidden in plain sight. What they're doing on purpose to program you. This is all predictive programming. This is all psyops. This is all getting to program you to what's coming. Okay, and then I was gonna take this out here, but okay, to show you how. That doesn't matter right now. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 9. I did something with this 18. I can't remember. 9 is hiding 18, of course. And then, of course, you have it spelled out right here, 18. And then, again, because these refer to each other, 9 is hiding 1 and 8. And again, 2 and 20. Look at this. Look how obvious you can get with that. And that's 2. 1 and 1 is 2, and 22. There you go. So some people can say, oh, so you're going to get 2, 2, 2 out of 6. Oh, look how these are the, this is so clear right here. See, the different things teach you about other things that have a direct relationship. Okay, this is how this works. Other gematrias teach you about other gematrias. Okay, and then so we also have in there both names. Jonas, which is again, 3 is also made up of 1 and 2. 3 is only made up of 1 and 2. So that's how you'd hide. One way to hide 12 is 3. 3 is 1 and 2. That's it. There's no other way what 3 is. 1 and 2. It's either 3 or 1 and 2. And then we have 5 plus 4 is 9, and 4 plus 5 is 9, so 9 plus 9 is 18. And again, 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. Jonas. What's so crazy about this? Again, this is the birth of the Antichrist, the pre-day. And then check it out. Antichrist Brothers is 666. What a shock. Not. So it's not a 666, but it's backwards. 3 6s. 3 6s is 666. 666. But this is also the date as well. Watch. Boom. So we're going to cross this 0 out for this case. 3 is hiding 12, just like that one, okay? And then we've got 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, right? And then 6 is hiding 2 plus 2 plus 2. There you go. I mean, it just keeps happening, keeps happening, keeps happening. If there's nothing to this, it wouldn't just keep happening on the same subject matter, on a similar kind of stuff. It just wouldn't keep happening. This is not a coinkydink, okay? It's not. Now, I'm interesting. Laura's telling me that in their... Okay, so by the way, how did I get on the Jonas Brothers? Well, my brother Constantine is from Romania. Awesome. We bounce things off each other. We're both getting into this blood moon thing and knowing that something's up with that both at the same time. It's really crazy, and we knew there was stuff up with this. And we know him for a long time, actually, but we're trying to figure it out. Okay, what's the puzzle going on here? And then he was talking about the Jonas Brothers, and this is definitely showing the sign of Jonah. And I'm like, oh my God. So I dove into this thing. The Lord's telling me right away there is a pattern in their births with the blood moons in the past. I'm like, wow. And it just took me a few days, and I knew it was there because he told me, and then it was there. I was like, wow. That's what he does. He'll give me a feeling that something is there. I just have to search it out. That's how I know. So So this is, I'm going to give you an example. So this is the blood moon. I'm doing it in reverse. No, okay, so what we're talking about right now is the blood moon on November 8th and then going into the birth of the Antichrist 40 days later. So it's blood moon, then birth, right? Well, I'm going to do it in reverse first. So we're going to go moon. Okay, we're going to go birth and then blood moon. And then we're going to eventually do blood moon and then birth, because the blood moon foretells the coming of the birth. Okay, get it? So here is, here is Nick's. Nick is the youngest, and that's his birthday right there. And this is the next possible blood moon. Okay, that was the same year, and that's 84 days. Well, does that remind you of anything? Stinky Bill's birthday, August 4th. It just happens to be that. Yeah. And it's about birth. We're talking about his birth. These come up all the time when we're talking about this. It's just not a coincidence. Okay, then now we're looking at Jonas, Joe, the middle guy. This is his birthday, and this is the next blood moon. It just has to be 1 day later. 1 day. That's not a coincidence. I'm going to show you why. What's up with that, okay? And again, all three of them are messaged together. Not only they're telling you the first, second beast, and the false prophet that are going to be in the tribulation, but they're also telling you information. This information is coded information that's programming you. You don't even know it. It's programming you to what's coming, and you don't even know it. When what's coming and when you don't even know it. That's what all this stuff is. All this stuff is programming you to what's coming and when you don't even know it. That's why I'm here to tell you and show you. Expose the darkness. Not be a part of it. I don't do any of this stuff in my private life. I don't like use Gematria on myself or my family and then go, how am I going to live according to this? I listen to what the Lord does. He shows me what to do. I dwell in Him. I pray in Him. All that. And with my family, all in the Lord and with my Father. Okay, that's it. I don't practice this stuff in my life. I use this, what the Lord taught me, to expose what they do and then warn other people. That's how this works. If you don't get that, then wow, you need to check yourself. It's crazy. People got nothing better to do these days, I guess. They really don't. They need to focus on things that matter and do stuff that matters, because time's almost up. It's almost up. Boom. Now, this is Kevin Jonas's birthday. The next blood moon, again, this is about a year and a half later, something like that. And then we got 474. Okay, what a coincidence on that. Okay, so these all have to do with CQBO right here, very clearly. His birthday, his name, and then one. And I'm going to tell you what that is here soon. So watch. So Barack Obama. Okay, so just his name, just without the middle name, but just the name that everybody says for the most part, is 84 or 408. 84, 408 backwards, 48 backwards, right? You get rid of the 0 and it's 48 or 84 right there. Boom. Now look, Barack Obama, the direct translation from Aramaic Hebrew, when Jesus said in 10:18, I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven. He says, I see Satan as Barack Obama. Lightning falling from heaven is Barack Obama. And that's where we get Barack Obama from that. And Jesus said it, okay, and that's 474. And I've said this 1,000 times on my videos, and there it is, 474. And then we have 84, which is right there. Again, two versions of his name. The original Hebrew and then the Americanized version of it. But that's where it came from, the Hebrew. Boom. And then look, Barack Obama is also 1 plus 3 is 474. Okay? And then what also matches this completely, this has to do with these moons, and again, it's the blood moon that happened was the 11th month, 8th day, and 8th day, 7th, 8th day have to do with the Stinky Bill's death and Trumple's death, and then the announcement of Stinky Bill's death on the 8th. Okay, and where's that going to be? Well, that's going to be one of the places where Trumple is going to exactly perish on the 8th day is right here. Right there. Okay? Manhattan Zulus, New York Zulus. I've said that 1,000 times. Look at my timeline. Pinned to the top of comments. And that just happens to exactly match Stinky Bill's name. I don't think so. And you know what? Another thing he said, if you remember this clip, I think it was at a thing in Paris or something like that. And he goes, I'm not concerned about, I don't care about I'm not concerned about a terrorist threat or whatever. I'm more concerned about nuke going off of Manhattan. Nuke going off of Manhattan. Whatever. I mean, seriously, that's what he said. And he was foretelling the future in a sense. You're telling what's going to happen. Again, predictably programming you. You think he's really just saying that just, naturally, and there's nothing behind it or whatever. I mean, seriously. Anyway, so 8 plus 4 is 12. Then we have 1 right there. And in this situation, I'm going to show something to you. You can add a 9 because a 9 can be added or taken away anytime. And I haven't really done that too much, but I'll just show you how this works, okay? So you can add or take away 9 because it's there. It's kind of a phantom or a 0. You can have a 0 or a 9 there, okay? You can add it to it anytime. And then right here, this is 4 plus 7 plus 4 is 15. And remember what 15 is? 0 is 15. Remember 15 is also 6. And what is 6? 6 is hiding 2 plus 2 plus 2. So we literally have his birth right here. And as simple as, you can make it a 9 because it's inferred, but it's December 1st day, or 12th month 1st day 2022. Okay, but the exact day is 12/19, well, whatever. See, does that make? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, that's how you get that. Okay, now watch this. Now we're gonna do the reverse. We're gonna go again. This is Nick again. And we have an N here for Nick, and this is, I'm gonna have a little thing here for the blood moon. So we have blood moon first, but the first blood moon that happened before his birthday, and then to his birthday, the closest blood moon to his birthday before his birth. And look at that, 2 years, because we're just doing days right here, but it's too many days, so we got 2 years. What does that look like to you? You see that? 2022. 2022. That's how they do this. It's crazy. 2022. Or 2022. Take the 0, but I mean, it's crazy. This is so crazy. And now we have Joe's birthday. Boom. Again, blood moon, and his birthday, the first possible his birthday after this blood moon is 176 days. And we got reverse and we got forward because we got blood moon, then birth. We got birth, then blood moon. Okay, all three of these tell a message. This tells a message of the birth on this day. Now watch this. This is crazy. Okay, so we have the blood moon, and then his birthday right here, 176 days. Now we got Kevin here. Kevin, the blood moon and his birthday, the first blood moon before his birthday, boom, 384 days. Now, what is this saying? This to me is super obvious, but I knew what this was right away because I know the numbers. So what is this? What's 1? 7 plus 6 is 13. 113. What's 113? It's 311 backwards. And then what's this? 3. I've run across this many, many times, actually, both of these. 384 is 3. 8 plus 4, we did it over here. 8 plus 4 is 12. 3, 8 plus 4 is 12. That's 312. Okay, I'm knocking off this 9 to show you an example here. Whatever. Okay, so look at this. So basically, in 2022, okay, 311th day and the 312th day of the year are November 7th and November 8th, the full solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, blood moon. And that's what that's showing. I mean, are you kidding me? And then 40 days later, we have this. Okay, the 19th or 18th/19th or whatever. But that's what this is showing. This is a pattern of their births to the the blood moon that's showing in the background and everything else. I mean, it is crazy. And their name, I mean, Jonah, Jonas Brothers. I mean, come on. The sign of Jonah. Okay, and then we have Jonah, the sign of Jonah Hill. Okay, a famous Jonah that is the sign of Jonah. Okay, I'm not getting into everything right. Okay, so boom. And then, so Jonah Hill, born December 20th, 1983, during a prenumeral lunar eclipse in Cancer. Okay, again, born during a blood moon. Okay, crazy. And his name is Jonah. Remember the sign of Jonah and a blood moon already that we're talking about? And that just happens to be the case? I don't think so. And then look, his birthday just happens to equal hidden 12/19/22. How's that? December is 12. We have a 19 right there. We have a 20. And then 8 plus 3 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 12/19/22 right there. Boom. Okay, even more here. This is his birthday, which was during a blood moon, basically. Okay. And then to that actual blood moon that we're talking about is 38 years and 323 days. Well, why is that important? Well, I'm going to show you. Stinky BO's numbers in English ordinal and reverse English ordinal is 323. Boom, 323. And then we have 163. Well, what's 163? What does 163 have to do with 38? Well, simply because, boom, the 38th prime is 163. Bam! Bam, the 38th prime is 163. Okay? Wow. Okay. So again, this has everything to do with Stinky Bo, and it's a sign of his. It's going to be his birth and then his death, because this is a symbol of his death because it's the eighth day. Okay, but then because it's 40 days later, it goes to his birth on the pre-day. So it's both. It's actually showing both, which is weird. The way the 40 days you add it, and it ends up being 30 days later, but another 10 days. So I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, so now watch this. If I go now, we're adding. Now we're going to add 40 days to that. Remember how the 40 days got it to December 18th? Okay. Now we're going to add 40 days to that. Now what? Boom. Now we go from his birthday to the 40 days after the eclipse, which is 363 and 38. We already know what 38 is. The 38th prime is 163, so that's still Stinky Bo. And what's 363? The 363rd day of the year, which is December 29th, which is the actual. Okay, so there's 4 births during the 14/15 day process. There's a first day, which is a birth. There's the first attack day. There's his actual birth, which is lightning falling from heaven to his dead body because he dies in between there. And then there's his birth to the world. So anyway, that's what it is. This is lightning falling from heaven, Barack Obama, and when he dies on the 8th day, or dies on the 7th day, reporting on the 8th day, on the 11th day, lightning falls and he becomes the Antichrist. Okay, technically, okay, and that's 363 right there, December 29th. I'm gonna show you more of those in a second here. Now watch, boom, because there it is right there, December 29th. December 29th and 30th. And that's those tsunami days, because the actual birth of him being where Satan is cast out of heaven and enters his dead body and incarnates his body as the king of zombies. Okay, and then that's when Satan is in a man on earth. Okay, that's technically really his true birth. And they like that the most, and they seem to like that the most. And that's 12/29 or 12, the 11th day. 2 plus 9 is the 11th day, and then 30th is the 12th day. It's just time zones. This is Hawaii going into West Coast time zone, and this is East Coast time zone right here. So the same time, but different time zones, so that's why it's the same day, in a sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay, boom. Now, these two jagawatts. Okay, so anyway, here they are right here. Again, yin and yang. Yin and yang, and so much going on here. Male, female. Yeah. Okay. All kinds of stuff. Okay. Boom. Now here's his name right here. Remember, I said it's 163. Remember 163 and 323 for his numbers. Okay. 163 is English ordinal. Bam. And his name is 18 letters, 3 words. There's a reason for all this. This is so planned. And then this guy, his name, the Pope Mobile, Robo Pope, is Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Okay, and he is 201. Again, both in English here. What's substantial about this? First of all, look at this. We have 3. Remember, what is 3? Oh, whoops. What is 3? 12. 1 and 2. Okay, and then 18 right there. The first, that's the pre-day. And these two are together, showing that secretly. And then 3 against 12, and then we have 19 letters. 19. Literally, we got the pre-day and the first day right there in birth. And this is showing birth because we got a yin and a yang. Yin and yang, which is this birth of the Antichrist. And then this is kind of symbolizing the birth of the man-child in heaven, because he's a religious figure. He is the symbol of the Christ being born. Okay, but he's also the symbol of these two beasts. This is also William and CKBO too. It's a number of things. It's crazy. Anyway, boom, boom, boom. Here, go back to here. Okay, and then right here, boom. Okay, so again, that's, remember, 1218, 1219, right here, 1218, 1219. And that's just in their names and the number of letters and words. And it's right there. Okay, I'm telling you, this is how this works. Okay, and then now we'll take this two. Now we're going to add these two together. 163 and 201. And by the way, event 201. Okay. Crazy, okay? I mean, are you kidding me? Eventuals, 201s. I should say it that way now. Okay, 163 plus 201 is 364. Why is that important? Because 364 is the 364th day of the year, which is December 30th. That's the other, remember, the 29th, and then we got the 30th. And there's that 1 also. There's that 1 we were talking about. Boom, again, 29th. Now that's the 30th. Go back here. 364th day of the year is December 30th. Go back, December 30th. 29th, I just showed you, and then the 30th right there. When Satan enters his dead body and becomes the Antichrist for the first time. Boom. The king of the zombies. Okay, boom. Okay, now, number of properties. Now, what's the 201st prime? Okay, so we have this. Remember, we have two. Oh, we have this right here. The Pope. Pope is 201, right? Okay, and then we're talking about Evenzel's 201s, right? Okay, what is the 201st prime? You ready for this? Bam! 1229. Is this another massive coincidence? 1229. Remember 1229 right there. There it is. And that's so event 201 is going from two. Remember, two towers to one world freedom tower. 201. Okay, telling you, I'm telling you. Okay, and that is this is going to one, and that's the first day of the going to one, where it's one ruler, and that's the first day of Satan entering his dead body and becoming the Antichrist for the first day. Okay, boom. Okay, now, okay, so we know this right here. Now let's go check this out, and then also in reverse. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the Pope-mobile, the Robo-Pope here, is reverse ordinal, is 312. Again, what I showed you earlier with 312. 312 is the 312th day of the year, which is the blood moon day. That happened in November. November 8th is 312th day of the year. But when that's just a coincidence? No, because they're showing you with signs and numbers refer to things and pre-programming you to this stuff. Okay, boom. Okay, now let's look at Stinky B.O.'s birthday, supposedly, to the first attack day. Now, the first attack day was this. Oh, wait, let me do this real quick. First attack day is right here. Okay, the 22nd, 23rd. So we're going from this to that. And it just happens to be 323. Remember, his numbers were 163 and 323. It happened to be 323. In fact, even more than that, if you go from his birth to this, I'm saying his another birth, this is the second birth from the fourth side. This is the fifth day. Okay, birth to birth right here. Look at this. This is literally December 23rd, 2022. This is right here. These are equal. How is that? So remember, 3 is 12. 3 is 1 and 2. So we got 3 is 1 and 2. And we got 23 right here. 23 backwards, 23. 3 is 1 and 2, which is December. 2, 3 is right here. 3, 2 right there. And then remember, 0 is O. And O is 6, and 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. Here we go. So it's not just, hey, I'm saying, oh, hey, it's not just that CBO is 3, 2, 3. Okay, is that this number matches this number secretly. Crazy. This has been happening a lot. Okay. Oh, let me go yeah, okay, so then again that's the fifth day. 12/23, the first attack day. Okay, and then here we go. We go back to Jonah, the hill. Okay, this is again subtle predictive programming. This is also an iPad Go with the Apple and stuff, but it is the blood moon. He's the tide. It just happens to be a round red object, and he's Jonah, sign of Jonah, and Jonah just happened to, there was an eclipse and everything. There's a big thing in the sky. I mean, are you kidding me? So, and he's actually smoking an apple. I don't get into all that. But, okay, there's so much with this. Okay, but here he is. He has two versions of his name that people are used to, and then his technical full name are all 12/18/2022. Just happened to be that. That's all. Again, this way is 5 plus 3 plus 4 is 12, and then 9 is hiding 1 and 8. Okay, and then we have 2. It just keeps happening. 2 and 4 is 2, 2. This just 24 just keeps happening, or 2, 2, 2 just keeps happening all the time. Okay, or 6. And then we have this way, we have 12, and then we have 8 or 9 is hiding, 1 and 8 again, and then 6 is 2, 2, 2. Okay, boom. Okay, and then he's going to play Cherries Garcia, the ice cream flavor. No, Jerry Garcia. He's going to play Jerry Garcia in an Apple show movie thing. Apple movie. Again, there's the apple, which is the blood moon. Okay, the apple. There's all the bite out of it when sin came in, Adam and Eve. I mean, there's so much symbolism, all this stuff. That's sin, basically. Okay, so we got the apple, and then check this out. Cherries Garcia, or Jerry Garcia, is 1 and 2 is 12, and then we didn't even have to make something out of 9, but it was 18's right there, and 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. Okay? I mean, seriously, there's just so much. Okay, now I'm going to get into this dude. This dude is, he was supposedly swallowed by a whale, even though his own testimony It said he was in his mouth and then he spit him out. But they say he's swallowed by the whale, because it's exactly like the story of Jonah. Okay, because that's what this is showing. It's a fake, again, predictive program, psyop. Okay, this guy's been in a few different psyops, and I'm going to show you. There's been another psyop before this, maybe more, but so watch. So this is all, and he was even on Jimmy Kimmel and all over the media for a while last year, and everything is just crazy, ridiculous. Okay, here we go. So his name is Michael Packard. Okay, Michael Packard, and then that's 6 plus 2 plus 4 is 12. 1 and 8 is 18, and then again we have 2 and 4 is hiding 2 and 2. Okay, there it is. What's crazy too about this in Gematria is if you put, like, I copied this from an article and they spelled his name with the little thing over the A. Well, Gematria Gematria calculator does not recognize anything with something over it. Like, that's not even there. So then if I would have replaced this with a real A, which is 1, so let's just say I'll get rid of that. So we just put that right there. And so that's literally, I could just type in those letters. I'm putting this arrow right over this A. So if I just type in all the letters except for this A here that the arrow's over, then I'd have these numbers, okay? But if I add a real A without a thing over it, I'd add 1. That would add 1 to this, and that'd be 12, 19, 22. Again, we have both days. Crazy how this works, okay? And then here you go, Cape Cod Times. I was completely inside. Lobster diver swallowed by humpback whale off Provincetown. Okay, he was inside his mouth, and like I said, I've seen the interview a few times. He was in his mouth. He could feel stuff, and he was clamping down, like he said, which is all it's all bull. I mean, there's no way a whale would grab a person, and even if he did, I mean, the way they did this, I'm proving it because it doesn't make any sense. So it happened on June 11th, and it was reported on many places on June 12th. Now is the reason for that, and I'm going to show you what that is. I was completely inside. Again, anything you have in quotes for sure is Gematria, but this whole thing is, I'm just going to show you this example. I was completely inside, which is 12, 12, 18, 18, 1 and 8 or 9, get rid of those. Okay, and then 2 and 4 is 2 and 2. There you go. I was completely inside. Okay, now, boom, here. Now, again, reported on this happened on the event, supposedly happened on the 11th. That's what it's confirmed as. And then it was reported on the 12th. Again, 2 day, 11th and 12th. It's 1 day. Event day, reporting day. 1 day. That's how we look at this. The attack days are event day, reporting day. Event day, reporting day. So June 12th here. So Cape Cod Lobster Man. And by the way, lobster exactly equals Phoenix. And I showed that in one of my previous videos, University of Phoenix videos, which you should watch if you haven't watched it. It's pretty crazy. And based on one University of Phoenix commercial. Watch that if you haven't. It's crazy. Okay. Swallowed by whale also survived deadly Costa Rica plane crash in 2001. Okay, this is another psyop. This Costa Rican crash, and they even made a episode of a TV show. I survived. I'll get into it in just a second here, and because it's all predictive programming for the same stuff. It's all about the signs, about these things that are coming. I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, now watch, and here it is. Watch. I shouldn't be alive. It's a series called I Shouldn't Be Alive. Season 4, episode 8. Again, remember 408 was Barack Obama. Barack No Obama, I'll just say it that way. Barack No Obama was 408, or he was born on August 4th, or the 4th of August. Vacation nightmare. Vacation truly turns deadly as newlyweds Bandon and Brandy Wiley, which they're all the numbers here, I'm going to get into that right now. Airplane crashed into the dense Costa Rica is rainforest, and then the people that were on the plane were this guy, this lady, and him. Michael Packard, okay, and that's said in the article as well. And how long does this run as well? 48 minutes. 8 birth. 8-4. Stinky BO is 408. I mean, are you kidding me? Now look at this, and this date is crazy. I'm going to show you this in a second. Now, pulling up what we already pulled up with the Jonas Brothers here, okay, with their birth and their blood moons and all that, and how this equals 12, day 1, boom, and then 474 was 15, which is 6, and 6 is hiding 222. Now watch this. Now I'm going to pull up another version of this episode here, boom. So again, it was season 4, episode 8, 48. Stinky BO is 408. Now here it is, boom, okay, 408. Okay, it's about his birth. Now watch this. What's the date it aired? Look at that. December 1st, 2010. Now again, 12/1/2010. We got 12, 12, 1, 1. And then what's 2010 hiding? Simple, watch. 2 and 1 is 21. 0 and 0 is really 6. Or O and O, which is 6 and 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. What do we have? Oh, excuse me. What do we have? 2, 2, 2. Boom. There it is. We have 12, 12. 1, 1. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Saying something at all? I wonder. Could it be the 12th month, first day of 22 and 22? Yes, it could. And that's going to be the 19th because we already passed the first, because it could have been the first. Okay, because the numbers could go either way. It could have been the 10th, take away the 0. And the only other option we have, I'm telling you, is the 19th, because 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0 is the 1 for the first day. Hopefully that makes sense. Bam! Okay, now, again, I showed you this on this, right? Now watch. Okay, wait. So what I'm saying is, remember, CKBO is 163 in the English ordinal. The Robopope is 201, okay? You put those two together. Now watch. What happens when you get to 163? Again, we already did it right here. That's we add these to get to the day of the year right here. Now what happens when you do it this way? What's the halfway? What's the midpoint here? January 1st to June, including the day, because it's the full day in the calendar of 2022, for example. So we go from January 1st, the beginning of the year, to June 12th is 163 days. What day do we get to? Yeah, June 12th. 163, first 163 days of the year get to June 12th. What was June 12th? The reporting of this guy. June 12th just happened to be that. And I just showed you that that's the CKBO. Okay, now what happens, and then from here, June 12th, then you add 201 days, go from June 12th to, remember, December 29th is 201 days. And then what is 201? Remember what 201 is? The 201st prime is December 29th. December 29th. Do you see this? There's no way. This was planned completely. So from the beginning of the year to June 12th is 163, which is no Obama. And there it is, reported there, right there. And then from here to the day of the birth of, and it's going to be the rebirth of, so both of them are going to, the Pope and Sticky Bill are going to die on the same day. And there's a number of reasons for that. And then they're going to, then no Obama, the 44th president, is going to come back to life on that 11th day / 12th day, and then he's going to he's going to bring back the Pope to life from his death. And you'll see. Anyway, it's on my timeline. Anyway, this completely confirms it right here. This is insane. Hopefully you understand this. Let me go back and say this one more time. Okay, so just like I said right here, if you put these two together, you get to 364th day of the year. That is the birth of the Antichrist on December 29th / 30th, okay? Then if you go like this, bam, from there to there, it just happens to be a sign of the son of Jonah, basically the guy being swallowed, so-called swallowed by the whale. He's also in a car crash, which I'm going to equate to this as well. And it happened to be on June 12th. And you go from 163 at the beginning of the year to 163 days, it's June 12th. And then if you go here, you add another 201, remember event, 201s? Yeah. Went from 2 to 1, 2 towers to 1 World Freedom Tower, because it's about the birth of him on this day. Then basically the 201st prime is 1229, and that's, you go from this midpoint, or this, basically in a sense a midpoint of to there is 201, and 201 is 1229. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hopefully that makes sense. Now look at this, okay? And now what does this have to do? Just like I showed you earlier on that episode that was in 2010, it's a similar thing. You got you have a 2 and 1 and 2 zeros. So we have 2 and 1 is 21, and then we have 0 and 0 is hiding O and O, which is 6 and 6, which is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12, and that's hiding 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 2, and there you go, right there again. And that event is showing that. And when it aired about that particular event on that television show, it was 210. Just the 1 and the 0 were moved. And what is 210? By the way, let's go back here. What is 210? Okay, I was just telling you about 201. 201, see 201? What is 210? 201, event 201 right there. Boom, and I'm going to show you more. This is crazy. Boom, boom, there you go, boom. Okay, and then Costa Rica, where the plane went down back in 2000. By the way, it's 2001. What happened in 2001? On 9 and then 1 and then 1. Right? 9, 1, and then 1. And by the way, 9, 1, and then 1 is ninth month, and 9 months and 11 days into, again, 2001 is secretly showing 2022. So 9 months and 11 days into the elite's calendar ends up being Decem, or 10 Decem, and 11th day is 29. 11 is 2 plus 9 is 29, 1229. Costa Rica just happens to be 5, 3 plus 4 is 12, 2 and 9 right here, and then 4 is hiding 2 and 2. Now watch this. This is, I pulled this, I could not find this now. Okay, but I had this from last year from that story, but I looked and I looked and I looked, and it's not anywhere. I can't find it anywhere now. This is supposedly the plane that crashed in Costa Rica. And at the time I confirmed it was in articles and things like that about this guy who was supposedly swallowed by the whale, and then years before that was in a plane crash in Costa Rica. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Because they're perfect gematrias, they're perfect everything. I'm going to show you how that is as well with this. Now look at this. See this clear numbers day. I mean, what are the chances it's going to just this thing is all mangled, and you got this perfect number that's perfectly preserved. First of all, it's red on white. Red and white is, okay, that's a massive coincidence, right? Yeah, massive coincidence. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Now I'm going to blow this up, okay? What's capital TI/AGM? TI, AGM is 20 is T, 9. 29. Does that sound familiar? Huh, yeah. AGM is 1, 7, 13. So 1 plus 7 plus 13 is 21. Backwards is 12. Or if you just go 1 plus 7 plus 1 plus 3, that's 12. Or backwards 12, however you want to do it. That's 1229. 1229 is the birth of the Antichrist, like I said, and that is the Antichrist 666. So right there, red and white. I mean, how much more do you need? What I'm showing you already is massively compelling. What else do you need? To at least see there's something here. Okay, I'm not saying I know exactly when, but I'm telling you, these numbers will equate. They will. I used these numbers for February of this year, and it didn't happen, right? But the issue is it does point more and more as I understand this stuff more, and I'm so confident this year. It's so, I mean, again, I could be wrong, okay, but the best I can do is look at all the clues, just like an investigator would. It's like a detective would, and I just have that in me. I'm a detective, and I'm a detective in Christ, and I'm detecting, and he's giving me these things for his purposes and to bring people to him as well, and to warn masses of people that will possibly take and look at this stuff. It's the best I have. I mean, I'm not a fly on the wall on their meetings and what they do and how they do it exactly. So I've got to interpret the best I can from what I get from these sources and things, of course. Okay, so now, again, right here, remember I have this from the 1st to the 12th is 163 days. From the 12th to the 29th is 201 days. Again, that's Stinky B.O. and Robopope here, okay, right? And then check this out. Remember, we already did the numbers for Costa Rica, which is 29th. And then we have plane crash. P, first letter P, C is 1, 6, and 3. 163. And remember I showed you 2001 or 210 from the TV show is 201. To take away 10, 201. We have 163, 163. We have 201, 201. There's so much in this. I mean, I could even go dive into this even more. But here it is, 163 and 201. And then we literally have, this is also the year as well. So, but look at that. 163 is in P and C, plane crash. And plane crash is also the gematria for the full phrase plane crash. Why are they doing, why did they say plane crash? Why did they say heart attack? Why did they say, gunman? Or why did they say this? Or why did they say that? Or whatever. It's all gematria. Okay? Why did they say monkey? Because monkey and comet and all these things equal 474, which is Stinky Barack insane Obama. Okay? Because it all refers to something else that they're trying to program you with, and it works. Somehow it works. Okay, so this is the boat that he had. Apparently he went to a particular spot, went looking for lobster, and then he got this big whale that grabbed him, right, and it swallowed him, but not really. He just had him in his mouth, but they say he swallowed him. Okay, so here's his boat, and then simply, I just look at this very simply and go, oh, okay, J and J is 10 and 10. J is the 10th letter. 10, 10, Decem 10, and then A and N is A is 1 and N is 14. So that's simply Decem, being in Latin, December is Decem 10 and 10. Take away the 0, the first day. Or, the 19th, 1 plus 9 is 10. And then 1 and 1 is 2. And then 4 is hiding 2 and 2. So December 10th, or 10 can also be 1, 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. And that's the code, 2022. There it is, bam. Or even more than that. Okay, well, how about this? Then we have Provincetown, Massachusetts. Look, Provincetown, Massachusetts. Look how it matches, almost matches. It's so close to the Jonas Brothers. Look at this. Provincetown, Massachusetts, the Jonas Brothers. We literally have 1128, 1182. So we literally have 12 and then 18. And we have 12 and 18. We have it kind of reversed right there. And then look at this. We have 114 or we have 141. Look how close these are. Just the numbers are a little bit out of, but look, see, and they're both about the sign of Jonas, the sign of Jonah, or the sign of Jonas. Jonas is just another way of saying Jonah. Okay, it's an interpretation, because there are several versions of the Bible that don't say Jonah, they say Jonas. That's why they did it, because most people aren't familiar with the versions of the Bible that say Jonas, so they wouldn't put the connection together, but it's secretly showing, hey, Jonas is Jonah. Jonas is Jonah, okay? So the Jonah brothers, it should be, okay, but Jonas is just whatever. So just different versions of a name that are the same name. Okay, boom. And then here it is, that's the same again, J and J right here, okay? And there's a number right there. And again, this is all predictive programming. What is it? So we have 908842, 908842 right here. Now we're going step by step to what this is really showing. Boom, again, 0 is O, and O is 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So 968842, all this the same here. Now drop down again, boom. We're going to go 9, 6, and then we go 8 plus 8 is 16, and then 4, 2, okay? To drop down again. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch this 1 and this 6. We're just one switch. Usually it's just one switch. One switch, 1 and 6, boom. Then we have 9, 1, 6, 6, 4, 2. So what do we have right here? We have 19 backwards. We have 6 plus 6 is 12, okay? 19 backwards, 6 plus 6 is 12, and then we have 2, and 4 is hiding 2 and 2. We literally have 19th of December, 2022. Bam! And we had that right here because we had 10, 12, December 10th, and 10 is 1 plus 9 is 10. And then we had 22 in the AN. Remember that? I'm bringing it. Sorry, if you don't see it, sorry, I can't help you. And then this is the story. So this is a local story, supposedly right after it happened. It was reported on the 12th. Because he got out, they said he just got out of hospital the next day, right? Released, and he still had scrubs on. I mean, this is so ridiculous the way they did this, and it was so obvious to me. Okay, so he has. They even said he still got scrubs on, right? And so scrubs is 4 plus 8. Again, we have 408 or 48, October 8th. I mean, there's so much I'm not even talking about. It's crazy. It's 12. And then we have 9 is hiding 1 and 8, and then we have 2, and then 4 is 2 and 2. Okay, but it's blue scrubs. Let's do blue scrubs. Is that similar? Again, we don't have to divide 9 into 1 and 8. We have it right here, 1 and 8. See how these prove each other? See how this 9 becomes 1 and 8 over here? 1 and 8 is 18. 12 right here. 2 is right there, and 4 is 2 and 2. That's how they do it. I'm telling you, believe it or not. Okay, boom. Now this is crazy. They literally do a close-up when these guys are talking, him talking in the background, and then they have their narrator saying, and then he was just out of the hospital. He's got the little bracelet right there, whatever hospital thing right there, right? And then he's holding this. Okay, and yeah, he's a smoker or whatever, but look at this. This is a blood moon. This is a blood moon, and there's a chief there. I mean, are you kidding me? Now, and I mean, again, remember, it's the sign of Jonah. He was swallowed by a fish, so-called, right? But he wasn't really swallowed. That's what his own testimony was. He wasn't swallowed. Otherwise, he'd be inside the inner workings. He'd be in his stomach. He was in his mouth, and he was spit out of his mouth. That's what he said. Okay, so boom. And then Indian chief, which most of us are familiar with, that's an Indian chief, is right here, 12. 9 plus 9 right here is 18. 2. See all these? How many times you see the 2 and the 4 for 2022? You don't see 2 and 5. You don't see 2 and 3. It's always 2 and 4, which is 2022, or just 4, or it's just 6. 6 is 2, 2, 2. Okay, so 2 and 4 is 2 and 2. Okay, and then, or we could be more politically correct. They've got the politically correct answer in Gematria as well, because some people look at it that way. So we have Native American chief. Because we don't know what tribe it's from. Native American chief, okay, the politically correct version. We have 8 plus 2 plus 2, or 2 plus 8 plus 2 is 12. 9 plus 9 is 8, and then 6 is hiding 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 2, 2, 2. There you go. Either way, whether you have the the more crude, uneducated version, or you have the totally in the oh my gosh, you know what I'm talking about. Just had a massive brain fart right there. I was like, what am I saying? The politically correct version. Yeah, the politically correct. Okay, anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not myself, really. I mean, I am myself, but I'm not myself. It's weird. It's how this is. And then we got American Spirit is the kind of, and then we also have Natural too, but American Spirit is the darkened part, just to make a point, because I could do the whole thing and separate and everything else. But American Spirit is what the cigarettes are called. I know these are cigarettes. Anyway, because I knew someone had them, smoked them years ago, and they were sticky and annoying. And these ones didn't even have like filters or whatever. It was whatever. Anyway, so that is 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 and 8 is 18, and then 3 and 3 is 6, and 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. Okay. Almost there. Okay. Almost there. Okay. And then here's a guy he was talking to, and he's a charter boat captain, Joe Francis. Joe Francis. What was I saying earlier? Remember the first day, the 18th and 19th? I'm saying that Joe Biden time is going to go on the first day, and this is referring to that because 40 days after the sign is the 18th and 19th, and in my timeline I've said for months that Joe Biden time is going to die on the first day. There's Joe, and then we have Francis. He's going to die on the 7th, going into the 8th day. Reported death on the 8th day, just like CKBO, because he's going to really be in on the false prophet of the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is going to bring him back to life when he comes back to life on that day. And here it is. And there's Francis. It's a conglomeration of Joe, President Joe Biden time, and Francis right here. Pope on a rope right here. Francis, okay? I'm telling you, that's what it is. Believe it or not. If you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. It's what it is. And so here's Joe. And you know how this is all Gematria. Everybody's names and everything are all the right Gematria for everything. So even the first name, Joe, is literally Joe because that's the day of his demise. 3 is hiding 1 and 2. 18, and then 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, I'm just saying. And then here's Francis. Francis is going to go on the 8th day of December, which ends up being the 26th, and so that holds true as well. 7 plus 1 plus 4 is 12, and then we have 2. In this case, 0 is O, which is 6, 2, 6, and then 4 is hiding 2 and 2, and there we go. Boom, demise of Francis, demise of Joe. I'm just telling you. There's even more with this guy. Yellow shirt and 2 white SUVs. I mean, there's so much going on with this I could get into. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee it. I know it. I already know it. I don't know what yellow shirt is. I'm not going to tell you. Look it up or whatever. I don't know. I can't do everything. There's so much. By the way, all the things I've showed you so far, I could go 10 times deep into each one of them. I mean, and show you more gematria, more symbolism, more stuff. And I just pick and choose certain things that are like super, or certain messages the Lord want me to share. But I have deep in my treasure trove of stuff, like 20 times this information that you see here. I'm not exaggerating one bit. That's how intensive, and that's how, that's how I am. That's how it is. That's how he is. That's how it works. Okay, and that's how I can be so confident in what I'm saying, because I know this stuff. And I predicted many things that have happened, and hundreds of things that by the exact symbology on the exact day, and exact events on the exact days, several times. And if you've been following me, you know. If you haven't been following me, you look at a few videos or what, because some over some time, and you're a naysayer. Oh, you haven't said anything that happened, and that's absolutely a lie from the pit of hell. And a good job, working with the enemy on that. A good job. I wouldn't encourage that. I mean, eventually, don't you know you're going to stand before Jesus? Every single person, if you don't know, you're going to stand before Jesus and he's going to judge you. And so why would you risk like attacking your brother for something so piddly when it's going to be held right against you. I won't hold it against you. I don't. I don't hold it against you. I think it's a massive mistake on your part, because what did Jesus say? Well, he said, "Oh, when you were when I was, didn't have clothing and I had, where were you? Or you fed me and you clothed me and all this stuff when I, they go, when were we there, Lord? He said, when you did this to the least of these, you did it to me, right? And all that. He's monitoring everything you're doing to him and his body. And I'm part of his body. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. I know him. I'm in him. And whether you believe it or not or know it or not, you will answer for those things. Not by me. I forgive you. I forgive you 100%. I don't carry any of this crap. I don't carry any of this stuff on me that people say. People have said some of the worst things. I've had thousands of people. I've had to block. People have, death threatened me. Several people. I literally, one of them, I reported because this guy said I would kill your family and your wife and your kids. And I mean, I'm serious. You have no idea. I mean, some of the female women, I meant to say, most of the women that follow me and wonderful women and stuff like that, they had an idea the threats I've been given. You probably bring it to your knees. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe some men too probably, but just how it's easy to. You just can't believe the intensity of some of this stuff sometimes. I mean, for someone to say that he would basically, to my family and specifics, and all this stuff. And then what I did was I reported it to Google, okay? I know what to do. So I reported to Google, and then they immediately removed it, okay? Removed the comment, whatever. And then guess what? 2 days later, they put it back. What kind of message is that? And so then I had to myself block it and delete it, okay? But they put it back in 2 days. And I'm not surprised because whoever's doing all that stuff, they're evil to the core. They're part of it probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Google didn't hire someone to do that. Or they're not part of their trolls that they have that go after people that don't agree with what they're trying to, their censorship and everything. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Okay, but anyway, that's the kind of stuff I go through, and it's ridiculous. And every single video, and every time there's a time frame that doesn't happen, people a certain amount of people get so ticked because they think, okay, maybe this is going to happen. They get so ticked, and a lot of them are so-called Christians, as far as I know, and they lose it, and they go postal on me, and I'm like, okay, I understand. You're upset. I mean, I don't like this either. I'm not, but it's going to happen eventually. And I'm sorry that you can't, but you got to hang in there and whatever. You can't lose it and go non-Christian on your Christian brothers and sisters. I mean, come on, get a grip. Get a freaking grip. Your whole life is under a microscope, and it will be presented to you at the end of your life. Wake up! What you do to your brother, what you do to your sister right now, anywhere, what you do to the non-believer, what you do to anybody will be presented right back to you. How you hold grudges, what you think about people, how you act, all that stuff will be held against you. Is that stuff cleansed from you? Are you in Christ? He changed those stuff in your heart? This is what this is all about. Do you not get it? You need to wake up. Time is so short. You have no idea. Let go of your petty grievances. Get rid of your bitterness, your unforgiveness for people. Cling to Christ. Cling to Jesus. Beg him to change your heart. This is what this is all about. It's not about just getting out of here. It's about your heart and him changing your heart and walking with him and becoming like him. That's the whole point of being anything. What's the point if you don't become better? You just go, oh, I'm just going to drown in this unending so-called grace. Isn't even not what people think grace is. That's mercy. Most people call grace mercy, call mercy grace, and it's not. Grace is something else, and I won't get into that. You're gonna just do whatever you want and say, oh, it's all grace. Wow. I mean, good luck with that. Good luck with that. The whole point of all this is so that we can become better, that we can become as best as we can and not be so horrible. And there's a process that, yeah, you're not going to get to the, the gold, the brass. You're not going to get to the ultimate goal. You're not going to be perfection or anything like that. You're going to still be a sinner to some degrees and all that stuff. But still, you could be a better person in Christ as you're on the journey, as you give up yourself, as you walk with Him and discard your own self, your sinful, prideful self. And I'm saying it to me too. Okay, when I say that, I mean me too. I'm doing my best to discard my sinful, prideful, whatever self that was all put there in the beginning. That's the point. That's the point. It's not so you go, oh, I want a sin credit card and I can just be forgiven any time, so it doesn't matter. I can do whatever the heck I want. Heck with that. Or God forgives me on everything I do, so I can just do whatever I want. Oh, really? That's what the Bible says? It doesn't. There's several places. Jesus says, "I have these things against you" in Revelation. Also, as far as being in the vine, if you're not in the vine, then you're going to be cut off and burned up. I mean, it means different things. I'm not getting into all that what that means. There's different scriptures all around that completely destroyed this idea of unlimited, so-called what people believe is grace, that you could be as grace sin credit card and do whatever you want all the time, anytime you want. And that's also going to let you go in the rapture, that you could do it. Rapture is different too. It's not the same as just being born again. Rapture is something completely different. It's a reward for being faithful. It's not the same as being born again. Anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox. Okay, off my box. Okay, here we go. Back to here. So a Cape Cod lobster diver was swallowed by he wasn't. He even said he wasn't. And then spat back out, okay, because that's to equate it to Jonah, okay, because he was definitely swallowed and was in the belly, just like Jesus said, in the belly of the fish, like the Bible says, okay, and then but right here, so that whole thing, as much as will fit in there, you can see, is 12:19 and 12:18, and I'm not going to get into show you everything. I went through each thing, you can see that, okay, and then right here, again, swallowed is the numbers right here, again 18, again 12. And then 9 is hiding 18, and then 2, and then 4. I didn't underline that, but 1 and 1 is 2, and then 4 is 2 and 2, okay? Or swallowed by a whale is also, again, 6 and 6 is 12, 18 is right here, 1 and 8, and then 1 and 1 is 2. How many times have I shown you this? Look at the year. This has happened so many times. It's all there, okay? Boom. Okay, and then check this out. This was when the first person recorded got the Convid 1984. The Convid 1984 was the first person here to get that. And then if you translate that to the big thing that's coming on the first day, which is 18/19th, but I use that as a possible day here, 18th and 19th, the one that's going to turn people into zombified nuggets, okay, all right, and that is 163, CKBO's number. It's also, watch this, ready? Boom. We got January 2, right there, 12. We got 000, which is 666. Not a coincidence, that's 666. It's 18. Throat spot. Okay. And then we have 2 and 2, which is 22. So we have 12, 18, 22. And what's this? 12, 18, 22. Now from this, again, there's another date that I have that I showed you some earlier, where not only do we have from this date to the end date is right here in the first, well, this is an example of the first date hiding the end date. So right here. So this is hiding this date. So that's another reason why this is going to this. And then we have it equaling 1, 6, 3. And by the way, this is 12. 3 is hiding 1 and 2. Is 1 and 6 is the 7th day, and he's going to die on the 7th day. And then this O is 2022. So he's going to die on the 7th day of the 12th month. And that's going to be the 25th. And that's Christmas. And it just happens to be that way? I don't think so. Okay? Okay, well, I want to make a point. Before I get done with that, let me make a point real quick here. Let me just go through this time. I don't want to go this far, but... one more point here real quick. Where's my timeline here? I don't want to go that far back. Wow. Okay, almost there, I think. Okay, here we go. Okay, so right here again, first day is here, and then first attack day. Okay, and then right here we have his demise and the Pope's demise. Again, the Pope. I mean, he's head of like billion Catholics or something like that. I mean, not everybody follow, not all those follow him and everything completely, but some people, a lot of people think he's a traitor and he's on the wrong side. But whatever, however many, he's going to die. They're both going to die. I'm saying on that day, and that's not a coincidence. That is the false Christ's birthday, in a sense, because Jesus wasn't born on that day, and so they consider birth equal to death. So that makes sense. It would be the exact opposite. So you die on that day. And I had this right, I think, exactly. I had this 3 years ago, and this order here, and then it just played out. Finally got the right year, I think. So then, and again, these are the tsunami days here, and then we have the last day going, or the 13th day going to the 14th day, and that is New Year's, and that is the birth of the new eon or age, or the new year, the new time frame is right there, the birth of the Antichrist. And again, like in iPad Go, you have the fireworks going off with the skeleton, Obama coming back to life and everything like that to the world, and the fireworks are going off. There's so much in that, and that's the new year and everything. It fits so well, so many things. Anyway, there's so much stuff I could get into, but I'm not going to. And on this video at all, and I won't have time to do another one probably before this time frame. Okay, and I don't feel like it really. I mean, I don't have the health and everything, but I had to get this out to you. I had to get this out to warn people and to tell that this stuff is on the way. It's on. I mean, this is in December. I'm pretty dang confident. So I had to go through this again. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I want to pull back out this way. Let's do it this way real quick. Okay, yeah, and then. So then ended with this. So, and then check this out. So we literally have, this is when they're pretty young, when they first started the false, or the sign of Jonas Brothers. They literally have a blood moon here. Now, like I said, I think this is, and this proves it right here. This is the dragon. See, this is a blood moon, and it's also the dragon coming. Okay, this is the dragon, which is, I won't get into all this right now, but it talks about the dragon in the Bible and everything, and casting down a third of the stars, all that kind of stuff. And that there's going to be a big event that happens where the planet X is going to show up, and that's what I saw in my dream. And then I think that the blood moon represents, like it's saying it's coming. Like if you imagine you've seen a blood moon in a distance, you've seen a blood moon in the sky, you're like, that's the planet X in a distance, but it's coming, it's getting closer, right? So it's saying ultimately these blood moons, all this stuff has been about this thing coming, warning. And then in my dream, it was big and right there. So another thing about a blood moon is it's warning of this big red planet coming. That's a big thing about what this is, and this supports us right now. So not only is this showing death, and it's a flight. See, he's got a flight thing. It's a pilot, right? So this thing is flying. See, it's flying. See, in a sense, and then right here, this literally says. I looked at some other pictures. This literally says dragonfly. This is FLY. Dragonfly, and there's skeletons here, there's blood all over. I mean, it's crazy. Dragon, and right where the zipper is Drago, and an N, that's an N, fly. Drago is dragon, and then fly. The dragon is flying, and then here it is. This thing is coming, and he's in a flight suit, an old like 40s World War II. Flight cap or whatever you call that thing, and it's flying. This thing's flying, and it's dragon, flying. Drago and dragon, fly. It's warning of that. That's what they're warning of. Ultimately, yes, it's the blood moon, but ultimately, it's what's going to come into and scare the absolute crap out of people. Their hearts were failing them for fear, the Bible says. So anyway, I made my point. Done. So thank you for everybody who's given me prayers. Please, I beg for I cover your prayers, especially on my family for the being sick and everything, and me being sick and all that stuff, and just being bombarded. That's what he said, bombarded. So I'm like, okay, I think I know what that means. But so anyway, and then thank you so much for that. I thank you for everyone who's given. Especially, I was just able to make my rent here. That was due in a couple days. By some few faithful givers and all that, but then that's all I have. I mean, we literally have, and I'm just gonna be transparent.
I really feel like the Lord wants me to be this way, and so especially specifically, I literally have like $40 some in my account, so I have no money for food, no money for anything, even gas and all that stuff. I mean, but that's how we've been. We've been trusting the Lord from every day, and so if you're able to give, I appreciate it. We really need it up to this point. Now, hopefully, this time is it, and that's it. We'll still need some funds, and I'm still going to need to get groceries here for a family of 6. And all that, and everything else that entails, and just without getting into everything, of course, you don't need to get into all that. But if you're able to give, there's a link in the PayPal link in the description below. There's also Zelle Pay, which is way better than PayPal. It's free. You go to zellepay.com and sign up. It's through banks, and you can transfer money for free. And then there's also a PO box as well. If you're able to give, please. We could really use it right now. Again, that's how we exist. That's how this family exists, because that's the way the Lord wants it. And it's just always trusting, and it's very hairy sometimes. I never asked for this. I mean, it really didn't for any of this stuff, but I do it for him and for you and for everybody. I just want everybody to know Jesus and also be warned about what's coming so they can know Jesus. And I mean, it's crazy. So if you're able to give, please, I really need that. We really need it. Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, I think the faithful people who have given regularly so much. Oh God, thank you so much, Lord Jesus, thank you. I mean, and anybody who has in the past. I mean, I'm on my knees thanking you, because I mean I can't. I mean, it'd be so much easier to just have a job. I mean, I can right now, but. I mean, I have half my ministry doing this. I had a job, and I did both. I juggled both, and I did and I was happy to do it. And the Lord just told me at one point, He said, you need to stop doing that, and you need to just trust me 100% and just do this full time, because there's a lot I need to show you. There's a lot of people that need to come in and everything. And I thought that when He told me that time was completely up. And I thought time was up many times, of course, but it just keeps dragging on. I never thought it would be 7+ years now. Just I was first waking up around the signs of those blood moons. But I think we're finally here with that 40-day warning. I really do. And we'll see what happens in a few more days. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. God bless you. Man, I'm so thankful for everybody who just gives praise, great comments, everything like that. Sign up for Telegram, just so you get notifications, because I may not be here tomorrow. I mean, they could literally, by the way, their algorithms now, they read the screen. And I've proven that with my last video. I put up a Trump video that was really good, and I got 4,000 views, and then they got rid of it, and they basically said I said something about the convid 1984, the hokey pokey, and I didn't. I said it all in code, but the only thing they could have done is got it from the screen, and they did. So they can read the screens now. They can do more and more. The A and the I is getting just insane. I mean, literally, they're reading all our mail, and most people have no idea, every bit of it. And they're bombarding us with stuff, and they're trying to make everybody weak and everything so they can completely take over when the time's right, and that's almost here. So anyway, I'm finally leaving it. Finally done. Okay, so thank you so much. God bless you. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.